What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Petrolhead, and you join me today at the HRN Ferrari Service Centre in West London because the 355 Spider is finally ready to be picked up. It's been here for quite some time now, partially because there was so much work to do to the car and it had to have its engine out service, which I'll talk about in a bit. But also, I was travelling a lot, and then the weather came down last week with the heavy snow. I couldn't pick it up, but the sun's-ish out today, so I thought, today's a good day, let's come and pick it up. So, whilst I go inside and sort out all the paperwork for the car, I was here a few weeks ago when they let me do a little bit of filming when the engine was actually out of the car. For those of you who follow me on Instagram, you'll probably remember a picture of me standing in an engine bay. That was the car. So, whilst I go inside, take a look at these short clips of the car when the engine out, and I'll see you in a minute. Right guys, I've been inside, I've got the keys, and welcome for the first time to my Ferrari F355. Actually, seeing as the weather's finally decent for a change, or dry rather, I wouldn't say it's decent, but it's dry, rather than me stand here and lecture about it, why don't we start the car up, take it out into the countryside, find some really good roads and go for a proper drive? I think that's a good idea. Let's go. Guys, so we finally made it out into the country roads, and I'm so happy the sun finally came out because it means I can have the roof down, and that means I can listen to the exhaust system on this car without anything interfering. Listen to this. It's so noisy, and when you reach about 3,500 revs, the valves in the exhaust open and you get all of that. It sounds like a 1980s F1 car. I feel like Schumacher or Ayrton Senna driving around Monaco. One hand on the gear stick, one hand on the steering wheel. It's epic. Except when it does that. There's something wrong with the exhaust on this, and it vibrates randomly and sounds like a Vespa. But apart from that, it's the most epic noise ever. Which brings me on to the engine on this car and the fact that I just had it serviced. So what did I have done? I had the 3-yearly cam belt change. So every 3 years they have to change the belts on the engine, the timing belts. But because this is a 355 and it was the last Ferrari ever to have this done, to get access to cam belts you have to take the entire engine out of the car. So for those of you that follow me on Instagram, you might remember a picture of me standing in the engine bay of a Ferrari. That was this car back in January. It takes forever. I think it's like a 24-hour process of actually working on the car, plus all the other bits. So it was a really long repair, and it's quite an expensive process to do it. It cost about £3,000, but if you don't do it and they snap, then you've got bigger problems. So just pay it and get on with it. So what have we got? What is the engine? It's a 3.5 litre V8 with 5 valves per cylinder, and those 5 valves per cylinder allow it to rev up to 8,500, which when you think about a 458 Italia that goes to 9,000, it's not that far off. And I know I've already spoken about the exhaust, but we've got a tunnel coming up, and listen to this thing in a tunnel. If you close your eyes, you could be at Monaco sitting on a luxurious yacht by the side, sipping on champagne, listening to the Ayrton Senna go past. It's such an epic car, and it's quite fast as well when you think about it. I mean, you know, modern Ferraris are, you know, sort of 3 seconds to 60. This is 4.5. Now, my Alfa Romeo does 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, and that's a brand new car. That's a 2017, you know, modern day sports car, and this is a 1996 sports car, and they're pretty much the same. Although this is a lot more comfortable than my Alfa Romeo 4C. It's also, I think, one of the first truly modern Ferraris. I don't think it's the first modern looking Ferrari. I think that crown goes to the Ferrari 360, that sort of low, wide shape. But In terms of the mechanics and the inner workings of the car, I think this is the first really, really modern one. You've got ABS. It was the first Ferrari to be offered with a flappy paddle gearbox, although being a £6,000 option. You have electric windows, you have climate control, you've got adjustable mirrors, you know, you've got pop-up headlights, which I think were pretty much standard on most Ferraris back then. But you see the picture, and the real reason I think this is a sort of an everyday Ferrari, I had to daily this for a couple of months ago, back at the end of last year, when I sold my C63 to buy the 4C. And every day I got up to drive it, it started without fail. In 3 months, or 2 months I had it, as a daily, I had one issue with it. I was driving, the engine cut out, and all it was a bit of wiring that had gone a bit rusty over the years from the aftermarket stereo that the previous owner had put in. But apart from that, it's a very, very reliable car. I haven't had, touch wood, there's no wood in here, it's not a Bentley, but touch the leather, touch the horse, touch the prancing horse, that I don't have any problems with this. I absolutely love it. It's just so pure, the experience. Like I said, it's comfortable. When you sit, it's not, you know, it'd be comfortable for someone a bit smaller than me. I'm quite tall, so my legs aren't particularly comfortable, but the clutch is light, the gears are light. At this speed, it's not particularly loud. Like I said, the valves only open at 3,500 RPM or something like that. It is usable. The roof comes up and down electrically. You just bolt it in at the last minute. You kind of get the picture. It's a usable car, and that's where I think the charm of this car really comes from. Is it my favourite Ferrari? No, it's not. That is, my favourite Ferrari is a 430 Scuderia convertible, or the 16M as it was called. That's my favourite Ferrari of all time. But in terms of, does this pinch my heart a little bit? Absolutely. It's such a sweet little car. And it's the third time I'm going to say this, but I got a bit of free road. The noise! You don't get noises like that now. Now you get bangs and crackles and pops and sport exhaust buttons, but not in this. This was natural. This was all pure engine. Oh, it's so good. It's so, so good. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I loved getting the 355 out today. Finally back from service, although it's going back into storage this evening because, as you can see, the weather has now turned I can't say that word. What's a good word instead of Atrocious. Atrocious? Debaucherous? Atrocious? Whatever it is, the weather's not good. It's actually starting to rain. I just felt the first drop. But like I said, thank you for watching. Remember to like, comment and subscribe to the channel. There's a lot more to come. And next week, I'm going to be in Geneva for the motor show. And hopefully, I'll bring you some really, really cool content from then, including the new Ferrari 488 Pista. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.